Somewhere beneath the freezing waters of the Southern Ocean, one of the largest predators on Earth is drifting through the darkness. It can weigh over half a ton. Its tentacles are lined with rotating hooks. Its eyes are the largest in the animal kingdom. Scientists have known about this creature for more than 100 years, and yet, no one has ever filmed a fully grown adult colossal squid alive in its natural habitat. Not once. Which raises a pretty obvious question. How does an animal this large remain unseen? To understand why a massive deep-sea animal can remain so difficult to film, it helps to look at the strange ways humans encountered giant squid in the past. For centuries, enormous tentacled creatures occupied the darkest corners of maritime folklore. The legendary kraken was likely shaped by terrifying, half-glimpsed encounters with real deep-sea giants. And those old encounters had one thing modern expeditions often don't: darkness. Sailors did not have multi-million-dollar research vessels, sonar grids, or high-definition cameras. They had storms, black water, wooden ships, and an endless series of questionable life choices. If they saw something massive in the ocean, it was usually by accident, in the dark, without announcing themselves first. Modern science arrived with a completely different plan, and that plan may have completely backfired. The core of the problem comes down to an incredibly basic design flaw in how humans explore the deep ocean. The deep ocean exists in near-total darkness. To survive down there, the colossal squid evolved the largest eyes of any creature on the planet, with pupils stretching to the size of a soccer ball. These massive eyes are biological masterpieces, designed to detect the absolute faintest glints of light in a pitch-black world. In fact, scientists believe their enormous size may help them spot approaching sperm whales from hundreds of feet away by detecting subtle disturbances and bioluminescent flashes in the water. Which creates an obvious problem for us. If a colossal squid can detect one of the ocean's largest predators from a distance, what happens when we lower a brightly illuminated submarine into its habitat? We've essentially spent decades searching for an incredibly sensitive, stealthy deep-sea predator by loudly announcing our arrival from half a mile away. Eventually, a few frustrated researchers started asking a radically simple question. What if the problem isn't that the squid is a master of stealth, but that we are incredibly annoying guests? This realization triggered a massive breakthrough in how we look at the deep ocean. Instead of relying only on bright white lights and noisy vehicles, some teams developed stealthier camera systems using far-red illumination, low-light cameras, bait, and even optical lures that mimic bioluminescence. These methods have already helped scientists film the giant squid in its natural habitat. Now similar ideas are being adapted for the even more elusive colossal squid. Of course, there's another obvious question here. If no one has ever filmed an adult colossal squid alive in its natural habitat, how do we know they exist at all? For decades, almost everything we knew about the species came from fragments recovered from the stomachs of sperm whales. Giant beaks, pieces of tentacle, and other remains hinted at a massive predator living far below the surface. Then, in 1981, a Soviet fishing vessel recovered the first complete colossal squid specimen, providing undeniable proof that the animal was real. Since then, additional specimens have been brought up by fishing vessels and research expeditions, allowing scientists to study their anatomy in remarkable detail. We know what they look like. We know how large they can grow. We even know what hunts them. What we still don't have is footage of a fully grown adult living its life in the deep ocean. And that's where the mystery takes another strange turn. This brings us to the sheer scale of what we have been missing. The colossal squid is an absolute unit of an animal, weighing over 1,000 pounds. It easily outweighs the more famous giant squid by sheer muscle mass alone. An animal of this gargantuan size should be completely impossible to hide in a modern world. Yet, the contradiction remains that a living adult has never been caught on camera in its natural habitat. The immediate assumption is that they must be exceedingly rare, perhaps just a few lonely giants drifting through the freezing void. The reality is a massive, staggering twist. We know they are not rare because of what we find inside the stomachs of Antarctic sperm whales. Marine biologists analyzing whale diets discovered that up to 80% of the squid biomass consumed by these whales comes directly from the colossal squid. Based on how much these whales eat every single day, population estimates suggest there are literally millions of these bus-sized predators swimming beneath the ice. Not hundreds or thousands, millions. We are finally beginning to see the first cracks in this century-long mystery. In 2025, researchers captured the first confirmed footage of a colossal squid living in its natural habitat. There was just one small catch. It wasn't a gigantic deep-sea predator, it was a juvenile. Only about a foot long, the young squid looked almost delicate, with a transparent glass-like body drifting through the darkness. After a century of stories about colossal sea monsters, the first wild footage of the species looked surprisingly tiny, but that footage was far more important than its size might suggest. For decades, the colossal squid existed mostly as evidence. Beaks recovered from whale stomachs, specimens hauled up by fishing vessels, fragments of a creature that always seemed to disappear whenever we went looking for it. Now, for the first time, scientists were watching one alive where it actually lives. This footage proved that this creature can be found alive in the deep ocean, and if a 1-foot juvenile can appear in front of a camera by chance, the obvious question becomes even harder to ignore. Where are the adults? The footage didn't give us the adult colossal squid scientists have been searching for, but it may be the clearest sign yet that we're finally looking the right way. This sudden breakthrough raises a much larger, slightly chilling question about the rest of our planet. If our bright lights and noisy engines have been actively scaring away the colossal squid for generations, what else have we been missing? The deep ocean remains the largest, most unexplored habitat on Earth, and we have been studying it while wearing metaphorical blindfolds. By changing how we look, we are opening the door to an entirely new era of discovery that could reveal species and behaviors we haven't even begun to imagine. The mystery of the colossal squid is far from solved, as a fully grown adult still remains unfilmed in the wild. The monumental difference now is that we finally understand our own mistakes. The colossal squid may never have been hiding from us because it was rare. It was hiding because we spent 100 years looking for it in the worst way possible. If you want to stay on board as we continue to look into the dark and uncover the things shifting around in the deep, hit that subscribe button and join us for the next descent into the unknown.